Hello, it's Fiona here again, and today I want to tell you something about values. So if you remember, we've been talking about crisis survival skills from a therapy called EBT, and I've talked you through the tip skills about how if you're very anxious you need to calm down, just allow yourself time to think. So once you do have time to think, the question then is, what shall you think about? So values is a really great thing to think about in a time of crisis, like we're going through in COVID. Because what values allows you to do is to take the long version of things, to take the long vision. So rather than be caught up in, I want to do X, Y, or Z now, which might be a little bit impulsive, it might be not so effective. If you're really clear on what you really value, then you're going to be able to take yourself towards those values, even in times of crisis. So let me tell you a little bit more about values. Values are not really goals, they're more like guiding ideals or ways that we would really like to be. And because they're ideals, of course, we will fail on a daily basis to be like that, which is fine. So failure is nicely built into values, which is great because it means we don't need to worry so much about failure then. One great metaphor for a value is to say, being clear about my values is a bit like if you were thinking about a compass and you were thinking about the physical world and you were saying, I want to decide which direction I want to go in the world. So you could choose east, west, north, south, up to you. That's your personal choice. But having chosen, say, east, then that would be your guiding value. So if, for example, you won a prize which said you could either go to America or Russia and you lived in the UK, you probably would choose Russia because it's east of where you live. And of course you can never reach east, however far you go, so you're always just striving towards it, not actually getting there. But the values we want to talk about today are not really how to go around the world values, but they're how to be in your life. So one thing that we find is really helpful, and this whole discussion is really quite relevant to a therapy called ACT, Acceptance and Commitment Therapy, which is very strong on values clarification, as are other therapies too. But ACT is great on this. So one question you might ask yourself is, how do I want to be? So in given situations, in given contexts in my life, how do I want to be? How do I want to be behaving? So how do I want to behave in my relationships right now? So if you're stuck at home, or you're working like crazy because you're short of people, or you're looking at losing a loved one, and I really hope you're not, but if you are, or if you're afraid for yourself, how do I want to be? How do I want to be in my relationships with the people around me, with my work colleagues? And I really recommend, when you think about this, you think about how do I want to be in my relationship with myself? So you might say, honest, reliable, kind. So I really recommend a kind relationship with yourself if you're willing to choose that too. How do I want to be in terms of my health? Do I want to be somebody who is keen on staying fit? Do I want to be someone who values my health? And how do I want to value it? How do I want to be my leisure and my growth time? What kind of activities can I engage in which are going to be valuable to me? And how do I spend my day? So if you have a job, this could be what job you choose and how you do that job. Or if you don't have a job, is how you occupy your time during the day. Do you value contributing to the local community, for example? Do you value being creative? What do you value? So this is like a kind of sentence completion task. In my relationships, I want to be. So I suggest you pause the video right now and just take couple of minutes and just finish those sentences with 2 or 3 words that are relevant to you. And I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so whether you've paused it or you've chosen to just carry on watching, this is what we're going to do with the value statements you made. So you'll see there are 4 sectors here: relationships, health, how you spend your day, and leisure or growth. Just want to make sure you can see all those. There you go. What you do now is you this is a bullseye. If you're really living, you think, every day according to your values, then you can put your cross there. So you look at your relationships area, say, in my relationships, am I really living every day according to my values? Okay, I'm going to go for the bullseye, or maybe here, here, here. So you put your cross, the further away from the bullseye, the further away from your values you think you're living right now. Health, leisure, growth, and how I spend my day. So again, you might want to pause the video here and just take a bit of time to make your own bullseye and just think overall, where would you put your cross on these areas right now? So having done that, one thing you can do is to think, so today, what's a tiny, tiny baby step, one small, tiny thing I can do which is going to take me towards my values? So for example, next time I feel like yelling at my partner, I'm going to stop, and we'll practice that next time. I'm going to stop and I'm going to think about my values, about being supportive, for example, and I'm going to actually plan to do something supportive. So what tiny supportive thing could you do for your partner today? It might just be making a cup of tea for them. So think about that. Think about your little goal that's going to take you towards your values. And I hope you find this work helpful in these awful times of COVID. We have more in our book, which is called Get Your Life Back, the Most Effective Therapies for a Better You, which is available on Amazon if you want to see it, more about this stuff. So take care. Until next time, stay safe, stay well. Goodbye.